guys, Cherokee. I'm back in the video, and today we're going to be finishing off my first part and talking about Backlash. This Backlash was pretty short. It was a short PLE. It kind of caught me off guard when they were heading into the main event. I was like, oh, show's already wrapping up? Okay. I appreciated that because, I mean, I'm not going to say I appreciated it, but I feel as though you do need to know when you're in a good spot and what is too much, what is extra, what is needed, what is not needed. It was a very strategic PLE, and heading into Mother's Day weekend, I think it was pretty sweet because those people, people have lives in the back. They have families, they have moms if they're not a mom. It was a kind of short and sweet. They didn't have to do too much. Well, they did do a lot, actually. The performers for Backlash, amazing. Okay, no match was like I didn't dislike any match I didn't dislike any match. For real, like performance wise, I did not dislike any match. And that right there, I don't know what my overall rating of Backlash would be. Probably an 8 out of 10. Top of my head, 8 out of 10. Going into the match, opening the show with the Fatal 4-Way for the U.S. Championship match, pretty bold. But that got the ball rolling because these men are going to be hard hitters, and all the men deserve my props. But I really do have to give it to Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. The heat that they have, with their whole feud is just something like Drew. I don't know if it's just Drew McIntyre just knows how to do a feud, and Damian Priest also knows how to match the energy and hit hard. And whatever you're doing with Drew McIntyre, you're gonna have to hit hard, and that's what occurred. And I am glad to hear that Drew McIntyre was good because he took a nasty. But everything else, it was I really enjoyed that match because although when you go into a Fatal 4-Way, it's always going to be kind of jumbled up. And the organization of the match was, of course, it's messy a little bit. That's what a multi-man match is going to do. But it was still pretty organized. We got to see LA Knight, Jacob, Drew McIntyre, and then when they were able to go head-to-head too, that was great. I kind of am feeling for my man, LA Knight, because, man, child, this man in the bloodline, he gets no peace. This man has no freaking peace. And what's making it fine is the fact that he was just U.S. champion. So it's not like he being played, done dirty, all that. He was just U.S. champion, so it's not that bad. But I thought Jacob Fatu would be able to win it on his own. Solo coming in and interfering, that was good. That was Gucci. I'm sure that was already, fine. Probably already talked about. But I see somebody, I will be real, my first impression was this is going to be a bloodline member. Like their family bloodline, like a family member. And I wasn't really mad at it because, I'm used to it. I didn't expect it to be somebody I didn't recognize because when I saw the man's face, I'm like, you don't look like you really to I don't recognize that guy too much. I don't recognize that guy too much. And it's Jeff Cobb. He's a wrestler and a pretty good wrestler, honestly, with what I've already seen a little bit of. I will say it's pretty messy. It is a pretty messy thing. I think it's not unnecessary. I don't know if they needed to add another bloodline member. You didn't need to add another one. I understand that, Tama and then Tonga are out for a little bit for, getting better, healing, all that stuff. But there's a point where they could have coasted by until one of them were able to come back or both of them were able to come back. They didn't really have to add another member because this Age of the Bloodline story is just so weird. It's so weird because I'm fine with them taking a pause from the major story of Bloodline. I'm fine with that because it makes sense. Roman's doing something different. Jay's doing something different. Jimmy's trying to find his footing and everything. That is good. That's fine. But Roman won, you know, he earned the Ulafala back. So where is Solo's role for real and being able to call these shots that he's calling? That is going to be a very interesting one. It's just when you're going to do the whole Jacob versus Solo thing, I truly expected it to be like just with the players we already know. I will keep it a stack. I thought it was going to be with the players we know because it would make sense. You know, there would be you didn't have to do anything extra holding. You know, you didn't have to do no extra nothing. It's just going to be interesting to see what Jacob does going forward because, of course, I think he's getting to a point where he can't, I won't say he can't trust Solo, but he can't trust Solo right now. Because you're either getting more men because you don't believe in me, but you're getting more men for yourself to help you out. But I give it to Solo. You know, he bringing in jobs, okay? He is bringing in jobs for his folks, okay? This is the fourth job. You know, he being more of a child. Let me stop playing around. Let me stop playing. Next match I'm going to talk about is Penta and Dominic Mysterio. I love Penta. I'm gonna give Penta his respects, his dues, because Penta is finding him. He is getting himself on these PLEs and getting himself in these matches and doing his thing. I enjoy seeing Penta wrestle. That man is good. He is great. And I said this before, the chemistry with him and Dominic Mysterio is amazing. It's amazing. But Dominic Mysterio, he's waking a lot of folks up. Beforehand, of course, I love to hate Dominic Mysterio because it was the fun thing we were doing, the crowd, and, you know, but I always would give Dominic Mysterio his props because that man is good. He's good at what he does, and he was born for this. He always says that. I don't know if he's saying it in a joking way, but that man does. He has the capability to be the best Mysterio, and the moves he was like, I love the fact that he was able to do it in Oblivion. I don't really like their relationship sometimes, okay? I'll say that. But to do that for your counterpart, you're on there, you will rarely see the men do that for their real life wife or, of course, their TV partner. So that was sweet, and I love that. Dominic Mysterio, when he was doing that suicide dive into I believe it's a DDT. Sometimes these, I think it was a DDT. Into a DDT. That was a move for me. That was a move. I know there's probably a better name for that, but that was a move. Seeing El Grande come, like, Judgment Day, their shenanigans, I already knew what was going to happen. I already knew it. Finn Balor does. He needs to turn on him sooner rather than later. I do think he needs to get his bearings in order so he's able to have a smooth transition and not be on his own, because the guy was the mastermind of this whole thing, apparently. So, yeah, you better get it together, Finn. But El Grande Americano, we didn't need that. I guess it is setting up for Penta and El Grande. It's just, I don't like El Grande at all. There's nothing about him that's going to make me like him. Sorry, Chad Gable. The next match was Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. This is the match that Triple H says is one of the best women's matches he's seen. Maybe he means singles matches. Hopefully that's what he means. He said one of the best women's matches he's seen. Hopefully he means singles, because that triple threat at WrestleMania, yeah. If we're not talking about that, if he's not, like, hopefully that's what he's talking about, guys. Hopefully, because that triple threat was something different. Get back on track. Lyra Valkyria is able to retain against Becky Lynch. Hey, I was thinking the worst. I always think the worst because you don't really know how things are gonna go, and to see Lyra and Becky, you know, they meshed well in that ring, but to see them go at it as they did, Lyra Valkyria is that girl. I put my stocks in Lyra Valkyria because she is so good at what she freaking does. She's so good for it. And like I said about Dom, born for this. She's literally born for this. Lyra Valkyria is a star, and I just hope everybody else is able to see that more often. Her She's one of my favorite call-ups, man. One of my top 2 favorite call-ups, and they've done so well with her title reign. It hasn't had the story that I wanted to have, but with this Becky thing, it's giving me a little. It's giving me that. We're able to see more of her character, how she's able to go against odds, how she's able to process things, and you see that she's great on that mic, and that going forward, if you put her in that situation, she's able to adapt and do what she needs to do. I love that. So Becky Lynch gives my props for, putting her over in a way. I hate saying those type of terms, but I should say something else. I don't know, putting her over, but giving her room, allowing her to shine. She was able to allow Lyra to shine, and Becky does give that type of locker room leader vibe. I think it's wrong to say that she doesn't. And I agree with her take that, like, women should not have those they shouldn't have age limits. Men don't have age limits. As long as they're able to still go, they go. People are still talking about Undertaker matches. Like, they're still talking about Stone Cold matches, still talking about Shawn Michaels matches. So why in the heck, when women get to 40 or 39, 38, you question their ability to wrestle when they're still going on, still going good, and you talk about how you need to allow somebody else to get it because the younger talent? No. Like, when do you really do that for the men? You do that. You don't really do that. John Cena and Randy Orton, like, our truth. Like, let's not do that. And Becky Lynch is fight. I feel Becky Lynch probably fought for, women like Lyra. So it's kind of like, I don't want to say it might be a torch passing type of moment that we're gonna look back on, but I think that Lyra Valkyria proved why she's IC champion. And Becky Lynch is lame though. She lame. Why she try to break my girl arm like that? Hey, so she can relinquish her title, be like no, don't let her relinquish her title. Like, don't try to do her dirty like that. Our main event was John Cena and Randy Orton. This was a surpriser. It wasn't a surpriser, but I didn't expect them to go that hard. Like, I expected them to do a good match and do a good game, good game. But they went hard on that match. They went hard on that match. I was like, oh, this is crazy. This is more than I expected, especially with coming off of WrestleMania. And maybe that. It wasn't about WrestleMania, but I feel as though they knew this is going to be one of the last times, if not the last time, we're going to be able to scrap like this. So let's put a pretty bow on it. Let's not have people say, why do they have to do that when you had such a great history between the two? And the chemistry is still freaking there. I did not expect the interference at all. I didn't expect R-Truth to come out, but it made sense because leading up to Backlash, R-Truth would always say, hey, John Cena is still that guy. John Cena is my hero. John Cena's going to beat you, Randy Orton. So it wasn't a surprise to me at all. Like, after I see R-Truth, I was like, oh, all right, this makes sense. Now, at the press conference when John Cena AA's Ron R-Truth, I'm like, R-Truth was the only one down for you. I knew it was going to happen. I did. But what killed me was the people in the press room. They had no reaction. It's like, when it comes to wrestling, you got to play along. Have some reactions. It was dead silent. I said, goodness. And R-Truth, he sold that RKO. Like, when Randy decided to RKO everybody in the ring, because there was a point where they was going to stop the match, kind of. That was amazing. He RKO'd everybody. And that's still one of the best moves, man. Still one of the best moves ever. Ever. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens. If they do an R-Truth and John Cena match at Saturday Night's main event, I'm not going to be mad at that. Because it'll be very nice to both men, especially R-Truth. Because R-Truth is good in that ring. Like, I know we're used to seeing R-Truth in these comedy roles, but R-Truth can actually wrestle, guys. He can actually wrestle. Y'all trying to do all these makeup matches with certain people that don't know how to wrestle all that great. So, y'all can sit and see an R-Truth match. Y'all can sit to see that. Yeah, I actually would need that. I actually need an R-Truth and John Cena match. Because if y'all don't even remember, that's a rivalry. That's a rivalry. I think it's an underrated rivalry because we're looking at R-Truth like as a gimmick character, but that was a good match, the match they had together. Oh yeah, I need to see that. I need to see R-Truth versus John Cena. I also think we might get a John Cena and Jimmy Uso match. I think that. But y'all let me know how you guys feel about Backlash. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. So as I was editing my video for my Backlash review, I ended up forgetting that I did not talk about Pat McAfee and Gunther. I don't know why. It's not because I didn't like it. It was okay. I just feel as though for a man like Gunther to give respect to Pat McAfee instead of giving respect to everybody else was very interesting. And the amount of times that Pat McAfee stayed in that match, it was good for Pat. And maybe going forward, that means that he's going to respect the announcers more and everybody else will follow suit. But it wasn't something that I was there for because it's Gunther. Gunther should have made him bloody, bled him out, and decided to make a showing out of him. I mean, that's what he did with Jimmy. Heels don't need to have a good side of them. No, I don't he should have beat him bloody. He should have beat him down. But it was decent, I'll say that.